Hey YouTube. All right, so now we're live on TikTok and we're also live on YouTube. And we're going to be talking the celebrity stuff like we always do. We're going to jump into Nicki Minaj. We're going to be jumping into the Epstein files. We're just going to be jumping into all of the craziness that have been going on in media lately. So today I kind of wanted to start off with a little jokey thing that I had seen with this guy. I totally forgot his name. But let me kind of fix this up just a little bit. I have some tech stuff that I gotta fix. All right, all fixed, I think. All right, perfect. So this guy, Speedy Morgan and Funny Marco, they basically had this live stream and they were like going back and forth. I thought it was extremely funny. And I'm like, let's just watch it to start out things.
Storm, did you hear about that?
Oh no, I didn't. So who you snowed in with?
If I'm honest, it was 3 of us. 4 of us total.
Oh, you got 4 girlfriends.
No, it was 4 people total in here.
Yeah.
But
so what is it? Like everybody said that you are married and you don't like to talk about it. So no, I guess I'm the guy.
No, that's fine. We can acknowledge. Listen, it was me, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It was the 4 of us in here. And we had a great time, honestly.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying
one thing about me, I don't move by myself. Everybody knows.
Why don't you like to talk about your girlfriend? We would love to meet her.
Which one? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
No, I'm saying outside of that.
Let's acknowledge your relationship with Christ. Are you one of his children?
Yeah, I'm
What's
here.
your relation? No, since you want to talk relationships, what's your relationship like with your father?
This is how you know how to interview. Why are you switching it back on?
I'm just asking, what is your relationship like with?
I love him to death.
To death?
I'm saying till I die.
No, if you're talking about death, I mean, Jesus.
Nothing's wrong with death. It's okay. It happens.
I mean, we know God sent his son to die on the cross for our sins. So death is something that we've become, we've learned a lot about. What are you still in that good book? Have you been reading?
It's hard for me to read, but I would love to. Like,
how about an audio version of it?
Oh wow! But who's gonna be saying the audio?
Anybody.
I don't want to hear from anybody. That's what I'm saying. I want to hear from him. I would love that audio.
Well, listen, we are hearing from him. You got to understand, he's speaking through the text to our hearts.
It's hard for me to take a light-skinned guy talking with their hands because it sounds like you're a liar.
So would you prefer I just tuck my hands away?
I prefer you to just be truthful.
He is the way, the truth, and the light.
Look at you, still talking with your hands.
I mean, I'm pointing up. If you want to talk truth, I mean, he's the great I am. He's, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're saying we might get another storm. Did you hear about that?
Oh, no, I didn't. So, who you snowed in with?
So that's how it all started. So I guess it happened when we had that big old chaotic snowstorm that everyone was like going crazy about. And they did this live. And I guess Funny Marco wanted to get into his personal business and asked him like, okay, well, who are you dating? And as we all know, Speedy, he's always not talking about whoever he's dating. So he started talking about the Holy Ghost child. But anyway, that was just kind of like a little warm up so that we could get into some things. Now, let's really quickly get into Brittany Renner and these Kevin Gates audio messages. So I guess Kevin Gates sat in the interview the other day and he claimed that him and Brittany Renner were friends. Brittany Renner were like, we're not friends. Don't pretend as if we're friends. So he slides into her DMs and basically says this.
Hey, bro, so you don't want to be my friend? So you're not my friend no more, that's what you saying? But why you don't want to be my friend, bro?
So he like does this friendly message where he's like, oh, Brittany Renner, like, you don't want to be my friend. You don't want to be my friend. Brittany Renner is taking it straight to hell. She basically said, is your child bride pegging you with that 9.5 strap on yet? I'm your mommy and your daddy. Now be gone. Patreon loaded. So I'm just like, what is she talking about? And who is she pegging? And why was this anyone's business? Like, no one needed to know this. Okay, Brittany, no one needed to know what was going on with Kevin Gates and his love life and whatever was going on in his sex life. But this is what Brittany Renner decided to share with us. Now, later on in the show, we're definitely going to get into some deeper topics as it relates to, men partaking in certain sexual acts. And is it gay? So since we are starting off with this whole Brittany Renner and Kevin Gates thing, I want you guys to be thinking like, okay, well, is a man deemed gay for doing what would seem to be certain sexual acts that would be performed in like same-sex relations, but are being partaken with a man and a woman, if you get what I'm saying, such as pegging? Would that be considered gay? We're gonna jump into that later on in the show, but I want you guys to kind of keep that on your mind. All right. A little quick thing that I saw from G Herbo here, and he says, I'm done with gentle parenting. This mother lover thinks I'm a punk. So of course he's talking about his child, and in today's culture it's all about gentle parenting. Don't raise your voice at your kids. Talk your kids through everything that they're going through. Like, don't do too much with your kids, right? So he's like, look, I've been doing that stuff with my kids and now they think that I'm a punk. So what should I do? And I think when it comes to parents and being a mom myself, I think it's all about balance, right? It's not being too lenient, but also not being too stern. You want to be someone who they can speak to, be a parent, a mom or dad, being a parent that they can speak to, but also a parent that they will always respect. You never want the lines to get crossed too much. But I can definitely relate to G Herbo and this gentle parenting. Like, who do you think you're talking to? I am not one of your little friends. Now, I really wanted to jump into this thing here. And if you guys are on TikTok and you want to see the visuals, we are also live on YouTube where the visuals are, where you can kind of see exactly what I'm looking at. But this is Bridgerton. Now, tell me, who has been watching Bridgerton season 4? I know that you guys are watching it because it's #1 on Netflix. I saw Bridgerton season 4, part numero uno, and these two are my favorite. The mom and her black boyfriend, okay? Mrs. Bridgerton, the mom, and her new boo, the black, whatever you want to call him, that black hunk of a man. And, her just having that free sexual moment. She hasn't had that in such a long time. And I feel like that was just like the highlight for me. Seeing the mom who pushes her children to always fall in love, find the love that they need, find their lover, like watching her push her kids to do that, and then for her to now align herself to what is now kind of like her boo. I'm just like, it's a full circle moment for you. Like, it's a full circle moment, and nothing can't tell me that lady did not reach her pinnacle after watching that little episode between Mrs. Bridgerton and her newfound boo. But for those of you who are tapped in and tuned into Bridgerton, this is my favorite part of this new season, and I can't wait for part 2. I'm like, Shonda Rhimes, Netflix. Like, why do we have to keep it a month apart? Like, why do we have to do that? But nonetheless, I'm just like, I love this. Anyway, let's move on to part of the reason why we're here. The Nicki Minaj, right? Nicki Minaj has been doing her thing with the presidential campaign, getting cozied up with Trump and all these different things, right? Excuse me. And I do think that with Nicki Minaj cozying up to Trump, of course, many people want to know, like, where is this newfound love and support for politics and Trump and all of these different things. So, of course, Nicki Minaj did sit down in an interview and she did respond why, like, what brought this newfound love and support for politics.
Been recently very vocal about politics and social issues. Was there a specific moment that flipped the switch for you? Was it Gavin Newsom? Was it Nigeria? What made you wake up, so to speak?
You know what, Katie? I think that people's steps are aligned. I used to always tell people this when I was growing up, but like I had this strong premonition my whole life that I had a second job to do. Like, and this was, by the way, this was before I even made it in rap. Something inside of me just told me I would have another thing to do. And so actually, the first time I said it out loud or texted it was during the last campaign, the presidential campaign, this last one. I saw something and
you've been
away, and I said, this is a mistake. And I also said, this all of this is making me want to get into politics. So the last thing that really did it was me seeing certain things, the campaign, this recent campaign, presidential campaign, and knowing that I could help because the things that I was saying, it was happening. Like I was saying, oh, this is a bad idea, or this is a good idea, or and the things I was saying were coming to fruition. And so it made me think, oh, this is easy. I mean, if it's this easy, then maybe I should do it. And then there was something that happened a few months ago that if I wasn't going to do it before, something happened a couple months ago.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it, but away. And sometimes people can push you so much that they push you all the way into your next calling, into your next blessing, into your next life. And that's what happened with me. Sometimes.
What issues specifically?
So basically, she's addressing, like what is the reason for her newfound love for politics, Trump, and all these different things. And she's just basically expressing in a more summarized version that, look, people have been pushing me behind the scenes, and these things that they've been doing and pushing me and things of that nature has literally pushed me to that space where I now want to be a part of politics. I've always understood that, there was a higher calling for me to do something besides rap, but the pushes and the nudges that I've been getting where people have been provoking me is what kind of led me to this. But I think this clip ultimately answers, why this relationship with her and Trump
drew you in the most. Is it immigration? Is it the economic policy? Is it religious freedoms? What specifically, answers that calling that you talk about?
Definitely, religious freedom is something that's very important to me. But if I'm being honest, President Trump. Yes, because when I saw how he was being treated over and over and over, I just couldn't handle it. Because I felt that same, a lot of that bullying and the smear campaigns and all of the lying, I felt that had been done to me for so many years. And I was watching it in real time happen to someone else. And I didn't think he deserved it. And it made me think, I can't do this anymore.
What issues?
Okay, so everyone who wants to know, why has Nicki Minaj decided to align herself with Trump and his administration? She's saying, look, she's owning up to the fact that she may not have always been the biggest Trump fan. However, when you do see someone going through literally the same exact thing that you've gone through and that you've faced, with Nicki Minaj has always talked about this hate train that she has gone through. So of course, she knows the media tactics. She knows the different things that Hollywood and media, PR, what all these little tricks that they will play to tarnish your image, to tarnish your career. So she's basically saying, I saw these same things being done to Trump and I didn't like it. So of course, she may have had a soft spot for him, and that of course led to whatever their relationship is. However, that doesn't take away from the fact that many people are going to make fun of her for this relationship that she has with Trump. So before we jump into the Grammys, and that's the one where I really wanted to talk about, where I think his name is Trevor Noah. He kind of had some jokes for Nicki Minaj and Trump. I want to talk really quickly about Nicki Minaj's clapbacks. If you guys remember, a couple weeks ago when Nicki came out and she started to be more aligned with Trump, a lot of people had a lot of things to say. One of those people being Lizzo. I'll definitely play for you guys what Lizzo had to say. However, Nicki Minaj decided today that she was going to clap back at Lizzo. She basically said, Fat Lizzo lost 300 pounds just to sell 300 albums. Now she has loose skin and a flop album and a weird charge. Sheesh. So Nicki Minaj, she's coming back. She's drawn for her boxing gloves and she's definitely getting into the ring with these girlies. But if you weren't able to see the clip of what Lizzo said when Nicki Minaj originally aligned herself with Trump, let's take a listen.
So I'm getting texts about Nicki and I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know. Then, I researched and saw what was going on. And I'm going to say it like this. Celebrities' opinions of other celebrities does not matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. So my opinion of her does not matter. But what I will tell you is you're about to see an influx of people who see that it is more profitable and more beneficial to join that side. You're going to see it. It already started, and it's going to continue. This is his first year. This is Trump's first year as president. We got 3 more years of people who are going to surprise you. And it's going to hurt your feelings and it's going to disappoint you. And you have to know that there's money behind. So I'm getting texts about.
So this was just Lizzo saying that, look, we see Nicki Minaj getting closer to Trump. You're going to see more people get closer to Trump. And there's a lot of money going with siding with Trump. And of course, like I mentioned before, Nicki Minaj claps back, talks about her weight, talks about her low album sales, her loose skin, and that weird charge that she has against her. Now, again, remember I mentioned Trevor Noah was making some jokes at the Grammys as it relates to Nicki Minaj. And again, if you're on TikTok and you want to see these visuals, catch them on YouTube, Chat with KST. But this is what Trevor Noah had to say about Nicki Minaj at the Grammys.
Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it, baby. Jennifer, Nicki Minaj is.
So, of course, his joke, because he's not the only one who's been making jokes. A lot of the comedians have come out, and Nicki Minaj and Trump have been their most recent punchline. Everything is going viral. So nonetheless, he goes on stage and he makes a joke talking about her and Trump, Nicki and Trump, comparing who got the fattest booty, and Trump is like, it's him, and all the things. So Nicki Minaj, like I mentioned before, clapback season for Nicki Minaj. She has her boxing gloves on. Nicki Minaj says Trevor refuses to come out the closet, and everyone in the industry knows who his boyfriend is, allegedly. So here Nicki Minaj is calling Trevor Noah a gay, bisexual. I don't know what kind of man she's calling him now, but she's not calling him a heterosexual one. And, it's like one of those things where, someone is like trying to make fun of you and trying to like get into your business. And it's just like, mind your business. Like, you have a lot of stuff to go and focus on your own. But nonetheless, that's what's been going on with Nicki Minaj. Now, here it is. Nicki Minaj, she, like I said, she has her boxing gloves on. She's going at Jay-Z. She's going at everyone. She even accused Chrissy of having a cock between her legs, for lack of a better words. But excuse my language, but that's what she said. She basically said that Chrissy Teigen, or whatever her name is, has men parts between her legs, allegedly. I don't know about this woman. I've never been with her, but that's what Nicki's out here saying. So in addition to all those other people that, Lizzo, Trevor, Chrissy Teigen, she's also coming at Jay-Z. And what she's coming at Jay-Z and saying is that the ages of Aaliyah and Beyonce, when Jay-Z may have been like allegedly dating him. So I guess there were pictures of Aaliyah when she was 15 years old and Jay-Z was 26. And there were images of Beyonce when Beyonce was 16 and he was 27. And this is what Nicki Minaj had to say. Are y'all understanding that these people have been sacrificing children as a form of gaining and maintaining power? If you ever vote Democrat, again, you're just as soulless as they are and will perish. Maybe it's time for me to do some story times, since I was trying not to say what I know as they continue to attempt on bullying me. So she talks about her album, which she did mention later in the year last year, that she was going to be releasing an album on March the 26th. Now Nicki is saying, look, she is no longer releasing that album on March the 26th because of whatever sabotage she has going on behind the scenes. And she also mentioned that she wants to make sure those contractual agreements and basically that her money is being handled correctly before she releases that album. So that album that Nicki Minaj mentioned later on last year is being a little bit delayed. So I just kind of wanted to call that like the clapback season for Nicki Minaj. I don't think her boxing gloves are coming off, but we have seen everyone in the industry literally come at Nicki Minaj, trying to say all these negative things about her because of her alignment to Trump. Now, this is a clip of Billy Porter basically speaking on the Nicki Minaj thing. And I think this is how a lot of people who went against Nicki Minaj feel. But let's take a look.
Fuck her. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. And all of them. And all of them.
So I really wish TikTok and the people who are going to be listening to this on the podcast could literally see Billy Porter, but he's literally like, and I'm just like, oh my God, like it is not that serious. The only thing that Nicki Minaj has literally said is that, look, she has an affinity for Trump. She likes the man. Stay away from trying to change the gender of children. Let kids be kids. And when they grow up, they make decisions for themselves, and protect the Christians. I don't hear her saying anything much about immigration, same-sex marriage. I don't hear her like saying these things. So I just think that it's okay to align yourself with people based on maybe having more in common with them than the opposing side. Not saying that you have everything in common with them, but nonetheless, people don't like Nicki because of her views. And I mean, they're hers, and we kind of have to allow her that, right? We want freedoms of religion, we want freedom of all these different things, freedom to express ourselves. But then when someone expresses themselves, we want to just hang them. Like, for what? You know? I think we need to, as adults, be able to have emotionally charged conversations, but doing so with logic as well. It just doesn't have to always be emotions, and But anyway, moving on from Nicki Minaj clapback. Now, Tasha K recently posted this video of Kai Cenat. Now, if anyone knows who Kai Cenat is, he is the streamer of all streamers, and he has had a lot going on in his life. He's taken a break from streaming. He's moving into the fashion industry. We heard that his girlfriend allegedly cheated on him. So we know that Kai has a laundry list of things that he may be going through at this point. However, Tasha K recently posted a video of him with Will Smith and Jaden Smith. And her caption on her video was that ex-users fear for Kai Cenat after he was spotted with Will Smith and Jaden Smith. Let's take a look at the video. All right, so that voice, that yelling that you hear on TikTok, and that I know that many of you will be hearing on the podcast, is literally Jaden Smith going, ah, like he's so excited to meet the streamer of all streamers. Okay, so there he is meeting Will Smith. Tasha, I know you're gonna give me your products and stuff like that, but I really want to get into this video. Now, I wanted to actually highlight specifically this comment that is made by an ex-user. Ariel says, they are grooming Kai Cenat. Will Smith is behind some notable damaged Hollywood kids, Orlando Brown being one of them, Bryce Shear Gray, that one that came in the show Power, being the other. The light in here gives a good hint of what Kai is walking into. So, of course, for those of you who can't see the visuals, the lighting in the room is actually red, right? And my opinion on this whole Kai Cenat thing is, I do think that many people, there's many different routes to fame, right? And I think that many people who take the traditional route does sometimes have to go through certain things that they necessarily don't want to, or don't or shouldn't have to go through. And I think, looking at Kai's story, I think he was able to climb to the heights of success and fame that many people were able to get to without having to do all of that extra Hollywood stuff. So I'm like, Kai, I get it. Like, why can't we just plug up the stream, grab some blow up beds, and continue with our streaming journey and all those creative things you have going on in your head? And I get it. He wants to pivot into fashion, but I'm just like, you don't want to get too wrapped up into the Hollywood stuff and the Hollywoodness of it. So am I saying, like, I am like these ex-users, feeling like Kai should never be around Will, Jaden, or any one else in Hollywood? No. What I am saying is, I love how Kai Cenat did it. He was able to bring these celebrities into his lifestyle, onto his stream, into his comfort zone, You don't have no business going into Hollywood. Let Hollywood come to your house. You play around for a little bit and you send them on their way. And I kind of enjoyed that a little bit more. But of course, Kai is who he is and he knows what he's doing. He wouldn't have been able to get this far without all of that. I just think we all have this protective nature as it relates to Kai. That's just my take on it. Anyway, let's talk about this whole Donald Trump thing, right? So Donald Trump is suing the IRS and the Treasury for $10 billion over his leaked tax returns. According to Melanie, Trump decided to sue his own administration for $10 billion. It's basically Trump stealing $10 billion from taxpayers. And I think when I saw this big old headline of Trump suing the IRS and the Treasury for $10 billion, I'm like, Trump, were we trying to save money all the time? Or are we just trying to pack up all this money so you can take it wherever you want it to go? But nonetheless, let's listen to Trump address these claims that he's suing the IRS.
Mr. President, why are you suing your administration and the IRS? Why are you suing?
Who are you with?
I'm with ABC News.
You're a loud person. Very loud. Let somebody else have a chance.
Can you answer the question? Why are you suing IRS?
ABC fake news.
You're suing.
Go ahead. I didn't call on you. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Do you think the upcoming
ABC, by the way, is truly one of the worst.
Mr. President, why are you suing your administration and the IRS?
So if you can hear that, and I'm playing it over again just so that you guys can hear exactly the question that's being asked. So ABC News has a reporter who sounds very enthusiastic to ask him the question like, hey, like, why are you suing the IRS for $10 billion? And Trump is like, lady, who are you with? Like, why are you so loud? And like, can you calm it down a little bit? And she was like, I'm with ABC News. And he was like, such fake news. I'm like, this is just so Trump, right? He's gonna do what he wants to do, and Lord, like, he's getting away with it. So I think we can all see beyond the veil, right? I feel like Trump has done, some very good things in his administration, and it doesn't have to be good as it relates to deportation or storming into Venezuela. Not those things. I think we can all agree on a human level that there are certain things that he has done that are humanely wrong. However, I do think that Trump is someone who came in and he's like a trailblazer. He like kind of showed us that things can get done in presidency. So when all these different people are like, oh my God, we can't do that, we can't do this, we can't, he literally knocked off 10 things that Joe Biden did on day one. So no president can't come back into that office and tell us that their hands are tied or they can't do nothing, because we literally sat there and watched Trump do it all. So get to work, get to business, and figure it out the way that he did. So I think in that way, he has definitely done something for America in some kind of way, right? But anyway, remember we were talking about Trevor Noah being at the Grammys and how he took shots at Nicki Minaj? Well, he was taking shots at Nicki Minaj and Trump. And just to kind of go back for anyone who, didn't catch what Trevor Noah said, because I'm not going to play it again. I'm going to just play Donald Trump's response. So he's like, the reason why Nicki Minaj isn't at the Grammys is because she's at the White House with Trump, and Trump is comparing whose butt is bigger than whose. Trump is like, Nicki, I know they say it's your butt that's bigger, but I'm most certainly mine, and blah, 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 blah. That was the joke. So Nicki responds and says basically that Trevor Noah is gay. This is Trump's response.
He said that I spent time on Jeffrey Epstein's island. I didn't. I mean, he's a lightweight, this guy. He's a terrible, I think he's terrible. I thought he did a terrible job at the Grammys. I thought the whole Grammys was terrible. I watched part of it. It's not watchable. But he was a lousy host. I'd say not as bad as Jimmy Kimmel, but pretty close. And he said that I spent time on.
I stand corrected. Actually, there was another joke that appears to have been made outside of the Nicki Minaj and Trump joke. And this joke had to do with, pardon me, I'm also like doing some cosmetic things here, but this also had to do with Trump and the Epstein Island. Let me see if I can get that. Okay, so here's the joke that Trump responded to.
Of the year. Congratulations, Billie Eilish. Wow. That is a Grammy that every artist wants, almost as much as Trump wants Greenland, which makes sense. I mean, because Epstein's island is gone, he needs a new one to hang out with Bill Clinton. So, oh, I told you it's my last year. What are you going to do about it? Song of...
Okay, so like I mentioned, I stand corrected. Trevor Noah came at Trump twice. And Trump was like, "You're not even that funny." Like, one of the worst comedian on the Grammys. Better yet, Grammys, you suck. Like, I couldn't even get through the whole thing. I mean, you guys all have your jokes about Nicki Minaj and Trump, and they have their clapbacks. You guys can't be upset because Nicki and Trump is clapping back at you guys. You guys have a lot to say about them. They are two people in this Hollywood industry, in this Hall of Fame situation, that ain't scared to say what the hell is on their mind. So when you do come for Trump and Nicki, just expect for the clapback. Now, nonetheless, let's jump into a little bit, something a little bit different. So I do want to say it is February the 2nd. So of course, happy Black History Month. And we have Taraji P. Henson, talking a little bit about Black History Month. She didn't say much. It was just like, something about us laughing. And I think it was like kind of, crucial, because I think I find myself doing that sometimes too. When I laugh, like I cover myself up. So let's listen to Taraji P. Henson and what her explanation is behind that.
People run away when we laugh because we weren't allowed to laugh on those plantations. This is stuff that lives in us, y'all. This ain't nothing new, y'all. That's why y'all going, oh, what? Yeah, it lives in us. That doesn't just go away, like she said. And if we don't start unpacking it seriously, it will also be the end of us.
Okay, so that's what Taraji P. Henson had to say. Basically that, as Black folks, sometimes when we laugh and we like shy away from laughing, it's something that she's explaining that, may be ingrained in us, something because we weren't able to laugh when we were enslaved. So it's like, I think I would equate that to when you're like at the top of like, let's say a 24-story building, and it has the balcony and it has the rail. Oh, my nail, God, it hurts. And it has the rail, and you look over and you can kind of see, even though the rail is there to protect you, like there's the evolutionary process of understanding that there wasn't always this barrier of protection. So the fear is there, like looking down. So I think she's kind of explaining something along those lines. To which I want to say, yes, I do understand these things. I just kind of hope that when people do speak on Black history, I want us to highlight Black history, but talk more about what we can do in today to improve that history, right? So when our future generations look back and they're in February 2089, right? They're looking back at what we did in today's day and age to make it better for them, right? All we're doing is talking about what generations before us did to make it better for us. What are we doing now to make it better for future generations? And I do think that I hope that the conversation can shift a little bit away from our limitations and a little bit more into the things that, and a little bit more into our capabilities, right? And honestly, Taraji P. Henson, another thing I really wanted to highlight was that, I don't know, like Taraji P. Henson, like, look, she is my I always call her like my twin sister because we have the same birthday, 9/11. But I'm just like, girl, like I would love to see you back on the big screen and not in anything small, like in something major. Like loved you in Empire, loved you in a lot of different shows that you have started. But like, girl, like I want to see you. I get it. I love the work that you are doing. She's into, talking about therapy, mental health, and all these different things. But Taraji, like, come on. Pick up that career and keep moving forward because you have it in you. But anyway, I just want to say happy, Black History. Now, remember before in the show I brought up Brittany Renner, and I brought up Brittany Renner, and we were talking about how Brittany Renner called out Kevin Gates for enjoying a 9.5-inch you know what into his anal. And TikTok, do not flag me because I know I got the first flag on TikTok because I was talking about something like this. But this is NLE Choppa talking about something that I want you guys to kind of think about a little bit, and let us start a healthy conversation as to whether is it okay for heterosexual men to partake in certain things that people may consider not so heterosexual, as in Kevin Gates enjoying pegging and what NLE Choppa is about to talk about.
Try to call me gay because you ate my ass. I want to kick it off, brother. Stay brave, sister. Walk that life, but stop putting that shit on me, man. Cause y'all know I don't play like that. I ain't never been pegged. I ain't never been entered. None of that. Man, if a hoe want to put that motherfucking tongue on that gooch of that ass, man, I ain't gonna stop her, P. Don't try to call me gay because you ate my ass. I want to kick it off.
All right. Look, I like I mentioned before, I got flagged earlier on TikTok. They did not like what I was talking about. I said a couple of things, so I'm not trying to get flagged again. But basically, let's have this conversation. Is it okay for a heterosexual man to partake in certain activities, whether it's eating groceries? And I'm going to use these keywords because please understand what they mean. I'm not trying to, I'm trying to be censored here. Eating groceries, pegging, whatever the thing may be. Is it okay for men to partake in these things? And please definitely drop your comments in the comment section when you see this on YouTube, on TikTok. I would love to partake in this conversation. And I just think that, as society, as a person, as a couple, do what makes you happy. Do whatever floats your boat. While doing whatever floats your boat, don't discriminate against another person for doing what they want to do, right? So let me bring up a quick example, right? In Christianity, we believe in generally monogamous relationship. However, if you do go to certain Muslim cultures, they'll tell you, look, I want my 9 wives. I want, and it's accepted in each culture, right? And I don't see Christians looking over like, oh, what's going on with the Muslims, or the Muslims aren't looking over at the Christians like, what's going on with the Christians? So if you like eating groceries, go do that. You like pegging, go do that. You not into none of it, go do that. It's not right for somebody who is like a vanilla, they call us, who aren't really into all of those sexual things, to be judging people who would eat the groceries or who would peg. But also, it's not right for, if you're someone who's into eating the groceries or into the pegging stuff, to expose people or villainize people for who aren't into that stuff, right? So it's like this conversation that we've been having about transgender, LGBTQ, or whatever. And it's like, if you rock with it, be happy and go float your freak flag. But if other people aren't into it, the same way you don't want to be villainized for being a part of the LGBTQ community, don't villainize people who are opposed to that. Right? You want to be entitled to your beliefs and hold your position and be accepted in your spaces. Allow other people to do the same. So now me, mega tell the truth, come from Jamaica, any man, and that's just my position because I can bring it full circle. I'm just telling her the truth. I come from a culture that any man that I lay down with, I don't want them to be interested in no booty activity. And that's just my experience, my culture. I wouldn't be the girl for you if you're into certain activities, right? So you would go and you would find a girl who, like NLE Choppa's baby mother, who would be into that, or a Brittany Renner who would be into that and who would be able to satisfy you. And if you want it to be kept private, you keep it private. If you want to be open about it, you be open about it. But at the end of the day, find what floats your boat and go sail it. And that's just my opinion on it. Definitely let me know if you agree. Drop your thoughts and comments down in the comment section down below. Let me know, because I love to have these different conversations, but I just feel like stop trying to expose people, because I see that a lot. Stop trying to expose people for the things that they do in their bedroom. Whatever you do in your bedroom is your business between you and your partner. Why do you have to, like, with the NLE Chopper baby mama thing? Even like I said, I'm opposed to that, and I'm not going to be doing that. But like, if you sat there, got on all fours, and put your tongue in a man's boot and did what you did, why did you think it's okay now, after you guys are broken up, after the baby has been had, so now question whether he's gay or not? Like, when you were doing the activity, you didn't think to ask the question. You like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this because he's so. You're trying to paint him as a bad guy, and of course his defensiveness will, prompt him to defense. But like, girl, I have a couple questions for you. So you gonna lay down with that gay man? Why are you gonna tell me anything? And again, this is not to call NLE Chopper gay. This is to go in the narrative that his baby mama is trying to say that he is gay, right? So when did he become gay? Did he become gay when you ate his booty for groceries, or did he become gay when he left you? You know what I mean? Like, so these are the conversations that, that we do have to have. Don't expose people and things of that nature. It's no one's business. It's no one's business. If you were okay to do it, and whatever the case may be, you move on. And that's just my position. Moving on. Anyway, so this is a very, very disturbing video with the whole Epstein thing that's been going on. Everyone has been talking about Epstein files. What is going on with these Epstein files? Now, my position has always been on these Epstein files. If it was ever to care for the victims who were harmed and hurt in these situations, then let's go full throttle. Let's help these people. However, the intentionality behind this has always been to expose people in power. And I'm just like, rather messy, rather pointless, because it's not helping the victims. But if you do expose these mother lovers, then okay, fine. Now, this is a video of Epstein literally chasing around girls in his kitchen. Now, I would love to find out the age. I would love to find out the age of these women. Of course, it's redacted. Their faces are blacked out and all these different things. But how old are these girls? And what were they doing in your kitchen? And better yet, where was your mother and your father? Let's take a look. So again, I didn't even want to watch this video but you can't see the faces on these women. So you can't, like, like when you see somebody's face, you'd be able to say, oh, that's a young one, or no, they were like, college age or whatever. You can't see them because everything is redacted. So I would love to get the age of these women in the video, but like all this Epstein creepy crawly stuff, like, I don't know. I don't want to dive too deep in it because I'm like, oh, nasty. But if it is for the better good, and if we can find some light at the end of the tunnel, fine. Speaking of Epstein, and I wanted to bring this up really quickly, and this, I swear, this is a touch and go situation. I'm not getting too deep into it because, of course, Jay-Z's name is tied to it. Rock Nation. I heard about the lawsuits. Ooh, child, I don't want to be a part of none of it. So Jay-Z and Pusha T are named in some Epstein files posted on the DOJ website, alleging that victims claims that she was abducted and woke up in a room with Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z, while claiming Pusha T is listed as an alleged handler. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this. Like I said, it was very touch and go. So we finna get up out of here. But whatever is going on with Jay-Z's name being attached, not a good look. But like I said, these Epstein files, that's the thing that I really don't like about them, is because, first of all, what is true, what isn't true, what is fact, what isn't fact, and why are we focused and highlighting only all these different celebrities, right? Is this like you know what? Like I said, touch and go. Time for me to go. I really don't want to keep Jay-Z's name on this screen for too long because I've heard about them lawsuits and I don't want to be part of it. But anyway, this I found was I wanted to highlight this really quickly. I'm about to go right now because I do have something very important that I have to go and do. But I really wanted to highlight Nicki Minaj and her husband, Mr. Petty, the Petties, out on the town. We haven't seen this in a while, and of course, I'm not really gonna play the audio because the audio is gonna be, you know, copywritten or whatever the case may be. So it was really nice and refreshing to see Nicki Minaj not out alone, but out with her husband. So Nicki Minaj has definitely, been putting herself out there more politically, more doing all these different new things, right? I don't know how to really take this. The first thing that came to my mind, honestly, was like, Cardi B being out with Stephon Diggs. But of course, I don't want to compare both ladies and everything like that. So we're just going to highlight Nicki Minaj in her own light and just say, girl, do your thing with your man, Mr. Petty. Now, YouTube podcast, I gotta go. I got some stuff I gotta do like right now. So don't forget to drop your thoughts and comments down below. I love you guys. Later.